Didn't get into your ideal university after high school? Don't worry, there's still a way for you to reach your educational dreams by transferring. And one of the most important parts of the transfer application is the transfer essay, which is exactly what we're going through in this video. Hi, my name is Zoe, and I'm a native English speaker and a university applications essay editor and consultant. Over the past 6 years, I've created over 3,000 essays for students, including many transfer students who've gone into some of the top universities around the world. I'm also the founder of Zenar International Education, a company specializing in services including college app essay consulting. So if you'd like extra support for your college application documents, including your transfer essay, feel free to leave us a message or visit www.zenerinternationaleducation.com/collegeapp.php to find out more. Okay, let's get right into it then. So, as part of your transfer to different universities, you'll probably need to write a transfer essay to each university that you're applying to. However, a lot of essays will have a prompt that asks you something like, please provide a statement that addresses your reasons for transferring and the objectives you hope to achieve, or something along those lines, or something that conveys a similar idea to that. And even if the prompt doesn't explicitly ask why you're transferring, it's almost always expected that you address your reasons for transferring somewhere in the essay. Admission officers want to understand your academic journey, your growth, and why this next step makes sense to you. Okay then, so how should you approach a transfer essay? Well, first of all, just like the college application essays that you probably wrote when you were applying to in high school, a transfer essay needs to be personal, it needs to be genuine, and it needs to be reflective. You should aim to tell a story about who you are, what you value, and why you're ready to succeed at university. It's also not just about what you write, but how you write it. So the admission officers want to hear your voice, your perspective, and your values. So all of these should naturally come through in your essay. A strong transfer essay also needs to cover these important areas, including what are your goals and plans. It also needs to explain why you're transferring, like I said before, and you need to be very, very specific. Okay, avoid vague statements like, I'm looking for better opportunities. Instead, you need to explain exactly what you're looking for and why. Why is really important. Additionally, you need to show how you're a good fit for the university that you're applying to, okay? So this means that you need to connect your experiences, your interests, your values, your goals with what the university actually offers. Not just academically, but also in terms of community and culture. And I know it seems like a lot to fit into 500 to 650 words, but with the right structure, it becomes a lot more manageable. And we'll give you a possible structure that you could use soon. But before we do that, let's first go into what you shouldn't do in a transfer application essay. First of all, really, really, really important is that you must never, ever criticize your current or previous college or school. Never, ever speak negatively about your professors, your classmates, at the university or the college or school itself, the curriculum, anything. Never talk bad about anyone and never blame them either. Okay? Admission officers will see this as a red flag. Okay? Never ever criticize and never ever say bad about someone else or about another institution. Secondly, do not focus on your high school experiences. Okay? At this stage in time, you've already moved on from high school. You've already gone to college for 1, 2, 3 years, and admission officers want to hear what happened most recently. So at this stage in time, you shouldn't be talking about your high school experiences. You should be talking about your college experiences or what you've done so far in the past 2 to 3 years. That's far more relevant and is what the admission officers really want to see. Thirdly, I know I said that you had to give reasons for transferring, but please avoid giving reasons that are not academic or reasons that are a bit controversial for transferring, such as being homesick, wanting to be closer to friends or family, you're not liking the environment where your current school is. All of these things might be reasons prompting your transfer, but you shouldn't be writing out these in your essay. Instead, you should be focusing on reasons that are more academic, more value-based. Don't focus on things that are a bit trivial. And finally, don't be generic. If your essay could apply to anyone, it's not doing its job. It needs to be very specific, very personal, and very you. So make sure that whatever you write, it's only going to be applicable to you. Okay? So now that we've talked about how you should approach the essay and what you shouldn't do, now I'm going to give you a possible structure they can use when writing your transfer application essay. Remember though, that this is just one possible structure. There is no single correct structure out there, and I definitely encourage you to experiment with the structure that best fits your experiences and best fits your goals and best fits your voice and style, okay? There is no one structure again. I want to say this again. This is just one possible way that you can go about writing your essay. So in this possible structure, one way they can start is that you can begin by opening up with a personal experience that showcases your values, goals, and or interests. So make it personal and use descriptions to keep it engaging, but also make sure it's concise. So you're kind of telling a story, but remember to show and don't tell. Put the reader into the scene and make them really hear your voice. But again, remember to be clear and specific. And with this narrative, with this personal experience that you're telling, this should naturally show your values and it should naturally lead into your long-term goals and interests. So it's setting the scene to show who you are as a person. Next, you need to explain how this passion or interest led you to your current university and what you've done at your current university or college, there to pursue your passions, to pursue your interests. So highlight specific courses, projects, research, extracurricular activities or achievements or any initiatives that you've done that show who you are and how you've grown, how you're committed to your passions, and how you've made the most of your current situation. Okay? So try and show what you've done at this with where you are and how this shows your deep interest or your deep passion or your deep commitment to your future goals. Next is when you can kind of go into your reasons for transferring. So again, be honest but respectful. Never ever talk bad about the university or blame them for anything. Instead, focus on how you're looking to grow academically or professionally rather than what the school lacks. So bring in your interest. Talk about what you've done and how you hope to go further from it, how you hope to become someone better. And then that can lead into why and how this new university is the right step for you, okay? So mention specific programs, resources, opportunities, or values. And importantly, you can't just mention these like good opportunities. You have to clearly link them back to your own experiences and goals. So show exactly how these new opportunities relate to what you've done, relate to what you're looking for. Always explain and demonstrate your fit academically, culturally, personally, okay? You need to show how you and the university are perfect together, how the things in the university relate to what you've done and what you hope to do. Finally, end with a strong conclusion, okay? So there are many ways that you can conclude, but what I like to do is I like to briefly tie back my ending back to the opening and then reinforce your motivation for transferring and leave the reader with a sense of direction and confidence. Make them feel like they want you at their university. Okay, so that's the structure. Remember that this is just one possible way they can structure your transfer essay. And many students actually blend or rearrange the sections that I've talked about, except for the introduction and conclusion bit. And that's completely fine. There's also a lot of other ways we can go about this. The most important thing though, is that your essay needs to clearly show who you are, why you're transferring, and why this university is a good fit and why you'll be able to thrive there. If you'd like to see an example of an excellent transfer essay, or if you'd like personalized help with your own, type transfer in the comments below and one of our editors will contact you very soon. Good luck to all students writing their transfer essays and all students applying to transfer, and I'll see you in the next video.